Hiya, my name's Johnny. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that follow me would have seen that I completed a AliExpress version of Lego's Titanic. So I've had the urge to build another kit, and I've been wading through AliExpress and I've come up with this. AliExpress is a knockoff, if you like, of Lego's Ferrari. I paid a lot less for this than what I could have bought it for from a well-known toy shop in the UK. Obviously that's a massive saving. In fact, delivered with their import taxes and everything else came to just over 60 quid. So not too bad at all. So it just came today. It's at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I thought I at least wanted to unwrap it, wherever my scissors have gone. It would be quite funny if I open this and it's something else, because I do order a lot of stuff off of AliExpress, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the car kit. And there it is. There's a nice set of wheels there as well. Right, so that's what comes in the parcel. So it comes pretty basic, as you see. Plastic outer bag and then the plastic inner bags. No instruction manual, but that would be emailed to me. And in fact, I've had to contact the company in China that sent this to me and request the PDF, which I do prefer. As I said before, having the PDF on your iPad makes life a lot easier, because you can zoom in when you want to sort of specifically say count the nodules on one of these little plastic pieces. So I'm waiting for that to come. So I can't actually start the kit until that does come, but I've emailed them now, and sometime 2 or 3 in the morning British time they'll pick up my email and hopefully send on the PDF to me, so I'll be able to make a start. So for a quick comparison, you can see the AliExpress version has got 3,778 pieces, and that's at £50.79 plus delivery taxes and whatnot. As I said, it ends up at about 60 quid. And if you went somewhere in England to buy it, it also shows 3,778 pieces at £319. So it's quite a saving. So I'm looking forward to putting this together, and hopefully it'll go as smoothly as the Titanic went when I put that one together. Okay, it's now the next day, and the PDF did arrive by email, just as I'd hope. I've just transferred it onto my iPad. So you can see here, just go sort of a quick scroll through. It's all very nice. Loads of pages talking about the Ferrari and the whole concept of these Lego bricks and whatnot. And here we are here, where section 1, where we're going to build this, which is the engine block to begin with. Now I'm going to do pretty much, I think, what I did with the Titanic. I'm not going to show you me building the whole thing. Just seems a bit long and tedious to be doing that. So instead I'll be building it stage by stage, and occasionally sort of filming areas of what I'm filming, show you what I've done, and then sort of move on to the next stage. So the first job, as in my previous video, is I've gathered some containers to put the bits in to save me rummaging around bags, and then find the right bag, which is bag number 1. Right, I think I've worked it out. So going through the bags, as I opened, there was 2 sacks with bits in there. The first bag I've opened up, basically you've got all these little bags inside this large bag. And say for argument's sake, on here it says 1 1. It'll still say 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, and then it goes 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 2 4, 2 5, and so and so. So what I'm assuming is, because it's not the same manufacturer as the Titanic was, I suppose they've all got their little different ways. I'm imagining 1 1 to 1 5 will be the first lot of bits and pieces I've got to use, and then progress on to section 2 and then section 3. So what I'm going to do is put these bits in containers and then these bits back in the big bag, and then I'll pull them out as I need them. Also in the pack there are these bits which you would use across the whole model, and they have got some little numbers on them as well. I should see it, TY3, I think these were TY2s or something like that. Anyway, these bits are kind of universal and they're not just sort of purely for one section of the build. So these things I'll empty into little containers and they'll always be there right through to the end of the build. Just wanted to show you how I've set everything up. So I've got my bins with all the parts there, my iPad, and then I've got the sort of universal bits all in their little pods as well, and I've put little labels in there so that I know what is what, TY1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, etc. But I have to say, when I'm sort of comparing the bits from here and the bits from here, they do seem like they're exactly the same, but I don't want to get myself into trouble at this moment, so I thought I'd do it properly. Yeah, it's going to be this first packet. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So that's the very first part, and then 2 of these little red things. Right, fumbling around there, but that's the first 2 pieces on, and then I move on to part 2, where it's saying one of those and one of those. This bit fits in there, and then that bit fits in there. One of the little problems I've had so far is that this particular part in the picture, it's showing it as blue, and I couldn't find a blue one, but I found a beige one, and I'm going to stick that in, and further down the line, as with the Titanic, the bits always appeared in the end. It's not going to make a difference whether that's blue or beige at this point anyway. I'm going to crack on with this for a little while and see how much of this I can get built up, and I'll show you where I've got to in the next clip. I like to hold up my hands when I've got things wrong. So that little beige bit that I put in there, because I said I couldn't find the blue bit, well, I've got them all in here, TY5, so there you go. I do get it wrong. So excuse the noise in the background, that's my heating. It works off a diesel for this little room here. This is how far I've got so far. I'm on section 8. And what I like to do is, when I'm looking at the instructions, and I can see here it wants 1 of those, 2 of those, 1 of those and 2 of those, etc. So I like to go to my pots, get all the little bits and pieces, and then lay them out there so I know these are the bits that I've got now to put together to complete section 8. Also, important thing is, I've picked up this piece here thinking it was one of the bits I needed, and I realised it's kind of a bit too long. What I did here with my iPad is, I know, because these are the only ones of these yellow ones. So what I did is I've expanded this to sort of be a 1-to-1 size, offered that up, and then when I put that one in, I said, no, it's bloody miles too long, what have I done wrong there? Then looked around even further and found the exact size one. This is the dilemma I went through when I was building the Titanic. I'm rushing all the time and not looking for bits properly, and quite a lot of times I thought, oh no, there's bits missing on this kit, shit. Anyway, and then when you look again and you look properly, you take your time, do everything methodically, then you find out, no, there weren't any bits missing at all. In fact, I've got a few bits over. Don't know if I did use all the bits up properly, so that the extras are just spares. So what I'm saying is, with these kits, don't be scared and think, oh no, there's a bit missing, and do double check on your sizes and things. Obviously with things like this, you can count the holes and look at the diagram and count the holes on that and know that you've got it perfectly matched up. But sometimes just expand the PDF, get something which you know you can match up the size to, and once you've got it, you know what I'm saying anyway. I'll carry on with this and I'll see you in a bit. So I've spent a few hours on this over the last day or so, and I've got to this point. I'm at stage 102 at the moment, and I've built up, which I originally thought was the engine, is actually the gearbox. So quite a lot of moving parts on this. I don't know how it's all going to operate, and I mean, look at the amount of gearing underneath there. This is probably an actual gearbox. You'll probably put it in a Ferrari and drive off with it. But yes, so this has taken me several hours to get to this point. And again, like a really good, relaxing hobby. You know, TV on in the background and making cups of tea and just tinkering with this, coming backwards and forwards to it. So let's see where the next stage takes us. I've just spent another half an hour on it, and I think I've completed the gearbox. So this is what it's looking like now. That's a hell of a lot of pieces, and the scary thing is when you're putting something like this together, a gearbox, where it's kind of mechanical, is that have I put everything in the right place? And you check and double check, and you know, I'm sort of 99% confident that I've done everything correct, but there's always that chance that maybe something is where it perhaps shouldn't be, but I'll find out eventually. So here's where I'm at the moment. So I've just completed this area here on part 117, and it's looking like part 119, or section 119 or 18, is to build this part here, which I don't know, what's it say there, build box 1. It could be an act, yeah, well, it looks like the differential. That's the section I'm going to be building next. Here's the differential, which I've just built up. That consists of 5 little gears inside there, and then these gears there, just to show sort of the sort of detail. Maybe this is a limited slip diff. I've just finished the rear suspension, or what I imagine is going to be the rear suspension, unless this is 4-wheel drive. And you can see the differential in there, got the discs on there, and as you turn the disc, the whole diff turns too. We've got suspension, and that actually sort of bounces up and down there, you can see that. Yeah, this was a bit tricky, and I actually got some of it wrong, and I had to disassemble and go back a little way, which is, it becomes a little bit confusing because you've got to wind back the instructions and go back to the bit that you've made a mistake on, and then slowly go through the instructions again and put in all the bits in their correct place, because you would have forgotten when you've just pulled them all apart. Anyway, it does get confusing when that happens, and that is just because of a lack of attention sometimes. But anyway, we've got this all together. Next stage is, it's showing me on here, is these 2 bits come together. So basically this and this is going to join up. I'll do that next. Just put together the engine block with the 12 pistons, and we've got them working, and you can see the crankshaft underneath, and now that is just ready to go into the rest of the car, which I've got to work out exactly where it goes, which I think is sort of somewhere like that. Anyway, I'll just drop that in. I've just set the engine block in place and connected it to these. Where are we? There, yeah, there you go. Got this sort of a prop thing going on with universal joints, and when you turn it, all the pistons go up and down as well. I reckon if I put some petrol in this, it'll drive. So this is the first part of the car finish. So that's the mechanical work mainly done. So I've finished all the first lot of bags, which was 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, whatever. So they're all done. And my bins are now empty, although there is like a couple of bits in the odd one, nothing too much. So I've now got to the part of the instructions here now. There you go. And it's now saying box 2, but in my case is the bags all beginning with 2. So I've gathered all my bags and I'll empty these out into the little dishes again and carry on with the next part of the project. So on this part of the build, I'm going to be building this unit here, whatever that might be. I'm thinking it's the front. I'm assuming this is a mid-engine car or rear-engine car. And there you go, like there's a drawing of what I'm going to build. I'm making progress now. I'm on number 259 of the instructions, and all the work in this last part has been building up more what I would call the passenger side of the front axle. There's a couple of prop shafts here as well. I think this is a 4-wheel drive for some reason because we've got some gears down here. Also, I think, I might be wrong, but got like a little gear selector there, which looks like fun. I'm telling you, this is going to drive. So the next section I'm going to work on now is number 259 to build up whatever this section is. I've got the discs on there, so it's got to be more to do with the front axle once again. Front suspension's been built. I think it's now ready to go onto the car. Got the shock absorbers again, actually pretty heavy and pretty strong, that to be honest with you, but it all didn't take too long, about an hour to put that together, and ready now to join on to the front of the car. And according to the diagram, this is going in somewhere like that. That little hammer's quite handy for knocking little things in. It's light enough to not damage the plastic. So there we are, really, the chassis all built up. I'm not sure what the next stage is. Yeah, I'm on that 315, part 315 up to now, so better get indoors because my missus is going to start screaming at me again. Trouble is, anyone who's done one of these kits will tell you how addictive they are. You try to sort of pace yourself because you want to enjoy the build, but when you know that you should be stopping, you're sort of carrying on for another 15 minutes and maybe another 15 minutes after that, and before you know it, another 2 hours is gone. It's exciting to see how the model gets put together, but when you're doing it the way that I'm doing it, just like really rushing, and every free moment I get I'm spending on it, you're not savouring the whole build. But who cares? I'm just going to go and buy another one anyway. It's now Sunday morning and I thought I might get in a cheeky hour on the build. I've just put together the steering rack, which is all working. You've got this bit here, which will connect to something, I'm sure. It looks to be like a rack and pinion from what little mechanics I can understand. You can see the rack there turning on the little gear. I've just added these 2 little gears here along with this little system of universal joints, which I imagine is going to be eventually connected to a steering wheel. Right, I'm at stage 467. I've only been spending a couple of hours a day on it because I'm doing something else at the moment, but I've got all the engine built up. The gearbox has all been built up, the diff as well, and the front running gear, and I've gone as far as to, if I can get that in the shot, put in a little steering wheel with the Ferrari emblem, and you can see the wheels turning there. This is sort of quite challenging, and I don't know if I've said before, but this is harder for me than the Titanic was. The Titanic, as lovely as the kit was, could be a bit monotonous because you're repeating the same thing over and over again, whereas with this you're not doing much repeating other than sometimes on one side you're doing the same on the other side, so it kind of makes it more interesting for me. Not sure where I go from here. It may well be, because I now begin the second bag, which is this, and there's a lot of body panels, so that looks like what's happening next, but at the rate that I'm working at the moment, as I say, it's going to be pretty slow, but that just means I can savour it for a bit longer, and I'm already on AliExpress looking for what my next model is going to be. Oh, and I gave myself a haircut. I've just had a look at the next stage of the instructions, and this is where we're going next. So I've started the bodywork on this, and I've managed to put the panel on here and a panel on here, and continuing on with the instructions here. I'm at number 482 at the moment, and well, 483 is building up this unit, whatever that might be. I've just finished building the front end up, and that's really starting to look like a Ferrari now. You can see the emblem, again sort of quite fiddly and quite technical, but that's what makes it fun. And so the next stage is for me to bring this part along, and that bit goes in there, and somehow, well, all right, let me put that in there like that. That goes in there like that. Press these in there. Go on. That's one. If you don't get these things lined up perfectly, they won't go in. It's sort of quite a precision engineered thing. There you go. Now you can get to see sort of the scale of this thing. It's quite a big model. So far this is measuring 57, 58 centimeters, and I'm sure there's some bits to go on the back here, but yeah, huge. A few more hours and I'm making really good progress here now. I don't remember where I last ended on my last bit of video, because this is now sort of process of days, because I'm only getting to spend a couple of hours a day on it because I'm doing something else. But anyway, I'll show you. First of all, you'll see I've got the whole back end on now. And if I turn this around, you can see it starting to take shape. The whole engine bay opens up and closes. Got little glass windows there so you can see the top of the engine. I've built the whole windscreen surround now, complete with frames. I don't know if there's glass that goes in here or not. I'll find out soon. And also, which is like really awkward for me to show you because I don't think the camera can get in there, but this weighs a bit, this little model. Yeah, I've got the dash all fitted in there too. Yeah, this is starting to weigh a bit now. I think I'm kind of on my home stretch now with this. It's looking really, really lovely. It's such a beautiful model. Really, really cleverly put together. And as I move this aside for a second, this is the last lot of bits and pieces that are going to go on. And briefly looking, no, apparently there is no glass for the windscreen, so you just got to pretend that there's one in there, but not a lot to go on. I'm on section 856 at the moment, and moving now to, let me just show you here, doors and seats, which is and bonnet as well. So yeah, doors, seats and bonnet. So that's where we're going next. Pair of seats, complete with comfort control as well. They're ready to go in. Right, one more check-in before I finally finish this model. I'm getting close to the end now. You can see that the bonnet is on and it opens up. The front wings are on, and so are the little wing mirrors. The doors have now all been built up, although I believe there are some final connections to make, because I think these doors go up automatically. Doors were quite complicated. All the back wings are now, I believe, finished off and built up. So the boot area now opens up. And of course, the thing which I was looking forward to right from the beginning was fitting the wheels on. I'm on section 1080, and it's telling me on the instructions here that we're building up the rear end of the kit now. So with the amount of bits that I've got left, which is not a lot, as you can see, I reckon I've got another couple of hours on this, maybe 3 hours the most, and kit is finally finished. So I finally finished it. I don't know how many hours I've put into this because I never kept count, but I will on my next one. All I can say is every hour has been a real pleasure. No, that's a lie actually, because where I'm always rushing to finish things off, I've had to backtrack a couple of times and redo certain bits. Those little times weren't such a pleasure, but the kit is a pleasure to build. Every part was there. There was nothing missing. Everything fits perfectly. For £60, I've had hours and hours of fun, and I do really recommend these. It's a shame I don't get commission for doing a review on something like this, but nevertheless, you know what, for 60 quid you're not going to regret it. The amount of detail that they put into these kits is unbelievable. Things that no one will ever see. Same as the Titanic, which I've got up there on the shelf. There's detail that no one will see. Only the builder will know about that. But that's what makes it satisfying. Seeing the pistons go up and down, having a sort of gearbox that seems to work, where the gears all engage, and suspension, which I initially thought was quite rigid, is in fact just right for this car. I can't show you that really, but it's a real heavy kit. This isn't a lightweight plastic kit, it's a heavyweight plastic kit. It measures from the front to the back about 60 centimetres. That's a big old kit, big thing. Anyway, for those of you who've enjoyed my video up until this point, thank you for watching. Don't normally tell people to subscribe. I do this for my own bit of fun, but for anyone who wants to see more of these kits, find the little button somewhere below there which says subscribe, and then there's a little icon with a bell on it. If you click that and click all, and what that will do is alert you next time I upload a video. I'm already on AliExpress looking for my next kit. Meanwhile, here's a little video tour of the car with a bit of random music which I'm going to find somewhere. Once again, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again.